So I recently checked out one of the latest novels from the Boruto series, Naruto, all of that stuff, to be released, and it's called Shikamaru Shinden. Now, we've had a Shikamaru novel in the past, and this took place, I want to say, in between, somewhere around either before or after the events of the last Naruto the movie. And honestly, I don't read novels like that. I'm not a big novel fan, but some novels like these I do check out. Some of them, not all of them. Like, I'm not going to read the Sakura one, save your breath on that, but the Shikamaru one was really dope, so I was like, okay, cool. I see there's some translations. Again, it came out in Japan in July of this year, so it'll be a while before we get it localized, but I've seen some people putting up a few translations here or there, so I was interested, and I took a look. And man, I ain't gonna lie, because again, the vibe that I got from this one, very different from the TV series, even a little bit darker, I want to say, than the manga. It really just gives you a more realistic look and a more closer look at the thoughts and the feelings and how these characters react to situations in these novels. It's like, it's a bit different in a sense of like, it just feels more like you get more content, you get more detail, and it gives you just this real like, wow, I really feel how this character feels right now. So when I checked out the latest one, I couldn't believe how dark Shikamaru has gotten. And one thing in particular, which I don't have context, again, I read a rough translation. I don't know when the novel is going to be adapted, but it's during the Boruto era. So this is Shikamaru, you know, as he's being the helper or the right-hand man to Naruto as the Hokage. And there was just some things in there that really had me questioning things. And again, I would not be surprised at some given point during the Boruto series, whether before or after or somewhere around there towards like maybe the Kawaki big fight or whatever, we will have another great shinobi war. Because something that I read again about Shikamaru really made me question things. I don't know, again, I lack some context of if he was possessed to do it, I don't know, or if it was just something that Shikamaru was doing on behalf of Naruto or to defend Naruto or whatever, but it was definitely a little bit dark. And also we had an encounter which I really didn't realize. I don't think ever in the series did we have an encounter of Shikamaru and Sasuke by themselves with nobody around having a conversation. Because you got to remember, at this particular point in the story where we're at in, you know, the Boruto verse, the two major right-hand men that Naruto has is Shikamaru by his side at all times, and then Sasuke whenever he needs him. You know, he's traveling the world doing the most dangerous things. And it also started getting me to think about a lot of things that the previous Hokage and their people had to do in order to really make these people shine. So let's talk a little bit about that, because one of the things that really just shocked me is, and I believe it was chapter 15, which again, I just kind of skimmed through to see what was the hype about, because people were telling me about this, is there was an event, a 5 Kage summit meeting, where apparently Shikamaru tried to take out the current Tsuchikage as well as Chojuro, and Naruto essentially had to stop him. He almost was gonna pretty much snap their necks. And I'm like, bro, what's going on? There's a lot of tension at this particular point in the story. Again, I don't know exactly when it takes place during the Boruto world or whatever, but there's a lot of tension. There's villages that are trying to invade, and Shikamaru pretty much says, as he's talking to Sasuke, if he's going to shine, I will dye myself as dark as I need to be. I will go into the darkness, the depths of it, in order to allow Naruto to shine and be what he truly is. And it was really dark. And again, this conversation very interesting between Shikamaru and Sasuke. Of course, both of them saying, yo, we're gonna do whatever it takes. We're gonna do anything and everything in order to allow Naruto to continue his dream and continue trying to make the world a better place. They even shared a cigarette, which, whoa, I don't know if it was both of them smoking. I know Shikamaru lit one and Sasuke lit it for him. I don't know what was going on there, but like, that was a very interesting moment. And again, it started getting me thinking about a couple of things regarding the previous Kage, because, you know, we look at somebody like Danzo, right? And Danzo, very foul dude. He did some horrible things, but you got to think a lot of it, and we'll probably never know, obviously, the extent. Who knows what ideas Kishimoto had of the terrible things, everything Danzo's done, but we've seen Danzo done some dirty things. But in essence, a lot of it was so that Sarutobi didn't have to do horrible and disgusting things. Maybe Danzo, again, along the way, he got corrupted. He wanted that power. He was tired of doing the dirty things. He felt as though, I'm doing all the dirt anyways. Why am I in the shadows with my clan and all my peoples and my helpers while this guy is basking in the glory and taking all the accolades? Naruto, thankfully, more than likely will not have that problem, because Sasuke, of course, after the end of the manga, Sasuke decided, yo, I'm going to be his right-hand man. I'm going to do what I got to do to atone for all of my horrible sins. And then Shikamaru, you know, friends for life, so he's not going to do anything. So thankfully, he won't have that same type of predicament where his people that are doing these things will have to overthrow him or try to overthrow him because of jealousy or greed or envy or any of that, because they've set their way. So looking at some of the actions Danzo took in the past, yeah, you could argue a lot of it is nasty. He had a lot of ideals that were even more skewed than, like, you know, the second Hokage, Tobirama, because Tobirama, of course, we know, very, very hardcore about the way he does things. You could argue he was a little bit prejudiced towards the Uchiha, very prejudiced towards the Uchiha, the way he treated them, sending them to the outskirts or whatever. But, you know, he took those ideals and made them even worse with a lot of things he did. But you gotta ask along the way, the means, of course, definitely horrible, but the end, you know what I'm saying, that what he was trying to accomplish was allow Sarutobi to not have to dirty his hands. So Danzo, while he was a scumbag, in essence, he was doing the things that if he wasn't there, Sarutobi would have to make some of those decisions. So imagine how bad somebody like the third Hokage would have looked had he had to make some of the decisions that Danzo made, or who knows how bad things would have gotten if you don't have that person. Even, let's take it to real world terms, right? If you're a celebrity or a star, if offers come your way, business decisions come your way, right? And the star has to be the one that deals with these people and do everything. Anything that goes wrong, they're going to immediately point the finger at the star and say, you're wrong, you're bad, you're a piece of garbage, blah, 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 blah. That's why in the real world, of course, we have managers and lawyers and all sorts of stuff. So, hey, you tell your manager, nah, I'm cool on that, or your manager doesn't think it's in your best interest for that matter. Your manager takes that L. So a lot of the times, honestly, I see a very valuable lesson in this. For somebody to be essentially the quintessential of greatness, right? To be that shining, bright, great person, there usually always has to be somebody in the background taking all of those L's and becoming the darkest form of what people may look at as bad or anything like that, so that person can continue to be great, so that person's image, so that person's likeness won't be muddied and looked bad upon. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why in the real world, again, we just have so many different things. I mean, you take any type of, for example, a gangster rapper that's moving around on that type of vibe of like, yo, anybody, blah, blah, blah. They're gonna have people that are gonna die for them in case shit goes left, so that person doesn't have to go, you know, to jail or something like that. They're gonna have like what they call shooters. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? Where a lot of the times, the brightest and most amazing people out there, they might have, or they usually do have, people behind the scenes that do all their dirt for them. And I think Shikamaru, it's very, very interesting, again, looking at all the context and getting to see who he really is. And he took up a lot of Asuma's old ways. He's drinking, he's smoking, he's doubting things, he's looking at himself like, yo, I legit went at Chojuro and the Tsuchikage and everything. Like, he's done some dark things already, and that's that we haven't really explored things. And I don't know if Boruto's going to adapt that novel. They've adapted novels in the past. I believe this one, if I'm not mistaken, was adapted. Some of the novels were adapted for the Naruto Shippuden anime. I wouldn't be surprised if at some given point when Boruto, they start looking for different material, they go back and adapt some of these novels as well, because the Shikamaru one, it's dark, and if he's done things like that, who knows, maybe there could be a fifth great shinobi war brewing down the line if Shikamaru is doing these dark things in order for Naruto to shine. If Sasuke's doing horrible things, dark things, so that Naruto could shine, it's just interesting to see that, you know, they gladly accepted these roles. And again, thankfully, Naruto probably won't have the same problems that the third had of, you know, Danzo resenting it, because Danzo wanted to be the guy in the spotlight. Nobody wants to actually be the person in the shadows. It just depends on how much, you know, you care for somebody. Like, if you ever, and this is a life thing, I truly believe that, if you ever have somebody in your life that is willing to look as bad as possible to make sure that you don't look bad at all, keep that person, because that person really cares about you. Definitely a very valuable thing. And overall, it's just really interesting to see. I hope they adapt that at some given point. Shikamaru's done some dark things, and I really hope we get to see it on, you know, the manga and in the anime and stuff, because wow, him going that route of attacking Kage, something might happen, something bad. Kind of curious what you guys think about this, though. For starters, anybody that has a lot of more context regarding this Shikamaru Shinden novel, what was the reason why Shikamaru attacked them? Also, how do you feel knowing that Shikamaru is playing the same role, and Sasuke as well, that Danzo played back in the day? Does it make you look a little bit different at Danzo? Yes, Danzo, without a shadow of a doubt, he was a piece of shit regardless. Whatever he was trying to accomplish, he did nasty things. He made people kill, brothers fight, all sorts of disgusting things, but there was a method to the madness. There was a reason. There was a goal that he was trying to achieve, and that was to make sure that the Hokage didn't have to look bad, even though later on he resented him. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit the bell to get all notifications. And if you want to check any of my other social media, make sure to check the description below. I'm from Neverworld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Bow. Have an awesome day.
We making major moves, laughing at the haters lose. We don't give a fuck, virginity intact, clean stack.